Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome to another EDH Deck Tech, and today I am presenting a EDH Deck Tech on a brand new spoiler for Ghalta and Mavren. I am super excited for this vampire dinosaur. That is absurd of a combination of creature types, but I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into it, okay? For 3 colorless mana, 2 green, 2 white, 7 total mana, this is a dinosaur vampire that is a 12/12. You freaking love big stompy creatures. I do. Anyway, he has trample, and it says whenever you attack, choose one. The first one, create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures you control. That means when you attack with Ghalta, you're swinging in with another 12/12 dinosaur. Okay, his second ability is create X11 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. So I'm guessing maybe it's the first time you're attacking with Ghalta and Mavren, and you may have gotten a dinosaur earlier. So that's 2/1/1 white vampires with lifelink. That's not bad because you can use those for sacrifice fodder and other triggers. But anyway, I want to talk about our strategy with him. Our setup strategy is going to be super important. You're going to have to mana ramp, and you're going to need protection spells because Ghalta and Mavren, you need to play him only, hear me out, only when you're ready to take the game over. So you're going to need the mana ramp, and if he gets removed, you're going to need extra mana to cast him. But anyways, into the card. First up, we have Atzo-Canseer. For 1 color, it's 2 green and a white. It's a human druid, 2/3. Tap him, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Sacrifice him. Return target dinosaur card from your graveyard to your hand. Yes, so if you lose Ghalta and Mavren, put him to the graveyard, sack this guy, and bring him back. Next up, we have Ilsian Carditid. Yeah, I may have said that wrong. For 1 green and 1 color, it's a plant. It says tap, add 1 mana of any color. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add 2 mana of any 1 color instead. Yes, we're looking to have him on the battlefield. Next up, we have his Accomplished Alchemist. It's an Elf Druid 2/5 for 4 CMC. Tap him, add 1 mana of any color. Then tap him, add X mana of any color, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. You're going to be looking to need to add gain life to this deck. If you've been playing with Green Stompy, you know that your life is going to run out quick and your creatures get removed easily. However, with Ghalta and Mavren, you have white, so it's easy to gain life with all those white cards out there. Next up we have is the Nyx Lotus. This is a legendary artifact where it enters the battlefield tapped, but you can tap it and choose a color for the... Actually, you add the amount of mana equal to the amount of devotion to the color that you have. So if you have 4 green permanents out there with the 4 green symbols, you get in 4 mana. What an amazing rate. And you're going to need this after Ghalta and Mavren's been removed and you have to pay commander tax. Yes, think about that. Next up, we have Druid's Repository. It is an enchantment for 1 color. It's 2 green. Whenever a creature control attacks, put a charge counter on Druid's Repository. Remove a charge counter from Druid's Repository. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. This is super important because after you've been attacking and Ghalta and Mavren get removed, you're going to just have a storage area filled with extra mana to cast him and to pay for that commander tax. Next up, we have Beastcaller Savant. For 1 color, it's 1 green. It's an Elf Shaman ally. It's a 1/1. It has haste. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. Next up is protection spells. You need to protect this bad boy because he is game changing and game winning. None of your opponents are going to let him stay on the field. Trust me. Alright, we have Alpha Authority. For 1 green, 1 colors. It's an enchantment aura. It literally says your creature has hexproof and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Don't worry, Ghalta and Mavren has trample. Your opponent's going to need a bunch of blockers. Next up is my favorite, Privileged Position. For 2 colors and combinations of 3 green, white. It is an enchantment that says other permanents you control have hexproof. You do not want Ghalta to be removed so easily. Next up, we have Spiritual Asylum. For 2 colors, 2 white, it's an enchantment that reads, creatures and lands you control can't be the target of spells or abilities. Whenever a creature you control attacks, sacrifice Spiritual Asylum. So look at this as a protection spell to protect all your creatures and lands and just wait. Maybe you need an extra turn to wait. Maybe you need extra 2 turns. And you can just have creatures on the battlefield, but you know what? Your opponents are playing a strategy like, what do I do to get rid of this? Then you cast Ghalta at the right turn. Then you attack with them. And that could be the turn that you cast them. So many players are going to try to exile them, Sword of Plowshares, as soon as you cast them. But hey, if you have Spiritual Asylum on the battlefield beforehand, they can't do it. Only can be countered. Next up we have is the Sylvan Safekeeper for 1 green. It's a human wizard. He literally says, sack a land. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. Yes, you will be losing a land, but to give your creature Shroud at instant speed on any turn, game changing. Game changing. Because it only takes one play to protect your creature or to lose your creature. Or that could be the deciding factor in winning matches. Next up we have the Aspect of Mongoose. It's an enchantment aura for 1 green, 1 colorless. Enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. When Aspect of Mongoose is put into a graveyard from play, return Aspect of Mongoose to its owner's hand. Literally, this enchantment does not get buried into the graveyard. It can only be exiled. And how many players or your opponents are actually run exiling enchantments? If they are, most likely they are at sorcery speed, so you will see it coming. Finally, we have is the Stonewood Invocation. For 3 colors, 1 green, this instant has split second. Target creature gets +5/+5 until end of turn and can't be the target of spells or abilities. If you don't know what split second is, this is the best interruptibility / instant ability that just shuts down everything else. Because as soon as you play this, other spells on the stacks are just removed. And guess what? If you cast it on Ghalta and Mavren, can't be the target of spells or ability once again, and he already gets +5/+5, making him a 17/17. Next up we have is Combat Payoffs. We're going to start off with the instant spell, Hunter's Insight, for 2 green and 2 colors, 1 green, is an instant that says choose target creature control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw that many cards. This is important because you want to draw cards in a big Green Stompy deck or even Selesyna. They have a hard time drawing cards. This way, whenever you swing and deal damage, you're drawing that many cards. And Ghalta and Mavren is a 12/12. They're going to have a hard time blocking a 12/12. So even if you get 6 cards for 3 mana, that is a plus. Next up we have Family's Favor. For 2 colors, 1 green, it's an enchantment. Whenever you attack, put a shield counter on target attacking creature. Until end of turn, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, remove a shield counter from it. If you do, draw a card. Okay, so the shield counter is great because you're going to be able to take damage and you remove a shield counter so your creature doesn't take any damage. Alright? And when you do combat damage, you can remove a shield counter to draw a card. It might be 1 card. Next card we have is Wayfaring Temple. For 1 colors, green and a white. It's an elemental with ** for its power and toughness. And its power and toughness is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever Wayfaring Temple deals combat damage to a player, populate. So Ghalta and Mavren is already a token generator. If you choose to create vampires with the second abilities, you're going to be able to get more creatures faster on the battlefield versus putting a dinosaur. Then you can populate by creating a copy of that creature token. So if you choose to create a token of the dinosaur, you possibly could have, 3 12/12s out on the battlefield? You just need to do damage with Wayfaring Temple. But most likely, in the first run, you're going to try to go for a go wide strategy. Next card is Hunter's Prowess. For 4 colors, green is a sorcery. Until end of turn, target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. Super powerful. You're going to make Ghalta a 15/15. He already has trample, but you can draw a lot of cards because your opponents are not going to be able to block a 15/15 easily. Next up we have is the Holy Avenger. For 2 colors and a white, it's an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has double strike. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage, you may put an aura card from your hand onto the battlefield attached to it. Equipped cost is 2 colors and a white. Okay, that is a free spell enabler right there. Free spell enabler. You already know that you can attach a bunch of enchantments with hexproof, but hey, if you have a power boosting enchantment, that is the answer without even paying this mana costs. Thank you for watching this video on Ghalta and Mavren from the March of the Machines set coming up soon. Please like and subscribe if you like the content. The next 2 videos are videos YouTube is suggesting for you to watch. Click and enjoy.